Welcome back to Petverse, the place where curiosity guides us into the secret lives of the animals who share our homes. I'm Petverse Voyager, and today we explore a question that many cat guardians have wondered at least once while calling across the living room: do cats recognize their own names? If you've ever called your cat repeatedly while they stared calmly out the window, or worse, walked away, you might suspect the answer is no. But the truth, as it often is with cats, is far more fascinating. The real question may not be whether cats recognize their names, but whether they choose to respond. Let's begin with how animals process sound. Cats possess remarkably sharp hearing. Their ears can rotate independently, capturing subtle frequencies far beyond what humans can detect. This ability evolved for hunting, allowing cats to pinpoint the faint rustling of small prey even in darkness. Because of this sensitivity, cats easily detect human voices and the unique sound patterns we use when speaking to them. Over time, they begin associating specific sounds with particular outcomes. Your cat may learn that the sound of a treat bag means food is coming, or that the jingle of keys means someone is leaving the house. Names function in a similar way. Through repetition and association, a cat learns that a particular word, its name, is frequently directed toward it. Scientific research has actually explored this question in a controlled way. In studies observing domestic cats, researchers played recordings of various words spoken by the cat's owner, including the cat's name and other similar words. The results were surprisingly clear. Many cats showed distinct reactions when hearing their own names compared to other words. They moved their ears, turned their heads, or shifted their bodies slightly. These responses indicated recognition. The cats were not confused, they understood that a particular sound was connected to them. However, recognition does not always lead to action. This is where cats differ from many dogs. Dogs were historically bred to work closely with humans, responding quickly to commands and social cues. Cats, on the other hand, were domesticated under very different circumstances. Early human communities valued cats primarily for pest control. Cats chose to live near people because it benefited them: plentiful food sources, warmth, and shelter. This relationship created a partnership, but not the same obedience-driven bond seen in dogs. As a result, cats developed a social style that emphasizes independence. When a cat hears its name, it may recognize the call perfectly but decide the situation does not require a response. This is not stubbornness or lack of intelligence. It is simply a different communication strategy. Cats respond when the interaction feels meaningful or rewarding. If calling their name leads to food, affection, or play, they may come eagerly. If it leads to something less appealing, such as a bath or nail trimming, they may suddenly become experts at ignoring you. Another fascinating factor is tone. Cats often respond more to how something is said than to the specific word itself. Many pet owners naturally use a softer, higher-pitched voice when addressing their animals. This tone resembles the vocal patterns animals use with each other during friendly interactions. Your cat may react not only to the sound of its name but to the emotional signal embedded in your voice. Over time, your voice becomes part of the recognition process. This is why a cat might respond more quickly to its owner calling its name than to a stranger saying the same word. There is also the role of learning and repetition. Cats are excellent associative learners. If you frequently say your cat's name before offering food, treats, or toys, the name becomes a predictor of something positive. Gradually, your cat's brain links the sound to expectation. In other words, the name becomes less like a label and more like a signal: something interesting may happen now. For this reason, consistency matters. Using a clear name and pairing it with positive experiences helps strengthen recognition. Ultimately, the question of whether cats recognize their names reveals something deeper about feline intelligence. Cats are not unresponsive animals drifting through life without awareness. They are attentive observers constantly evaluating their environment. They notice patterns, remember voices, and understand associations. When a cat ignores its name, it is not because the message failed to reach them, it is because they are choosing whether the interaction is worth their attention at that moment. Here on Petverse, we celebrate these subtle differences in how animals communicate with us. Dogs may respond with eager enthusiasm, rushing toward us the moment they hear their name. Cats, by contrast, may flick an ear, glance in your direction, and decide whether the moment deserves their participation. Both responses are meaningful, simply expressed in different languages. I'm Petverse Voyager, and as you call your cat later today, pay attention to the small signals, the ear twitch, the slow head turn, the quiet blink. Those subtle reactions may be your cat's way of saying, "Yes, I heard you." And in the quiet world of feline communication, sometimes that small acknowledgement is the most honest answer of all. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the remarkable minds of the animals who share our lives.